Hello, everyone. Right now we will continue our discussion on international agency, and we will focus on bilateral international agencies, non-government organizations or NGO, and other agencies that operate in the international sphere. So bilateral agencies such as the Australian Agency for International Development or the Danish International Development Agency or the United States Agency for International Development, they are bilateral agency and they primarily work on development assistance sponsored by developed countries, and they work with low income and middle income countries to advocate for economic and social development. They're involved in advocacy, knowledge generation, as well as financing. In this table, you can see 5 such bilateral agency and their specific originating country. So from Australia, we have the Australian Agency for International Development, also known as Australian Aid. From Denmark, we have the Danish International Development Agency, also known as DANIDA. From Netherlands, we have the Netherlands Development Cooperation. From the United Kingdom, we have the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, or FCDO, and from the United States, we have the United States Agency for International Development, or USAID. So as an example of a bilateral agency, USAID, which is the United States Agency for International Development, this agency provides economic development and assistance for the advancement of US economic and political interests overseas. USAID carries out US foreign policy by promoting broad-scale human progress. At the same time, it expands stable, free societies, creates markets and trade partners for the United States, and fosters goodwill abroad. An underlying operation or theme for USAID is to work with specific countries where there is interest for the United States to send humanitarian aid there through USAID, so that specific economic improvement can be gained by selling US products in those countries, or building diplomatic ties with that country for global political purposes. On the other hand, from bilateral agency, we can now shift to non-governmental agencies. These non-governmental agencies, also known as NGOs, they're very important. And here I've selected 6 such agencies that and the specific country where they are originating from. So from Bangladesh, we have Building Resources Across Communities, also known as BRAC. From France, which is a funding member for Doctors Without Borders. Switzerland, we have International Red Cross or Red Crescent. From USA, which is a founding member of CARE, also known as Cooperative for Assistance and Relief Everywhere. From the United Kingdom, we have Oxfam. And then from the United Kingdom again, we have Save the Children. As an example of NGO, BRAC is such a very big NGO. It was founded in 1971 in Bangladesh. It is the largest NGO in the world, and it is involved in international development work. It reaches more than 110 million people, and currently works in several countries in Asia and Africa, including Bangladesh, Haiti, Pakistan, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Uganda, South Sudan, Philippines, Afghanistan, and Tanzania. BRAC's idea was simple, but yet radical. Its idea was bring together the poorest people in the poorest countries and teach them to read, think for themselves, pool their resources, and start their own businesses. It works in areas of human rights and social empowerment, education and health, economic empowerment and enterprise development, livelihood training, environmental sustainability, and disaster preparedness. Women and children take their priority. That's the main priority focus. Another example of NGOs is Doctors Without Borders. It here says Doctors Without Doctors. It should be Doctors Without Borders. Best known by its French name, Médecins Sans Frontières. It is based in Brussels, Belgium, and umbrella organization made up of affiliated groups in 18 countries, and it works more than 80 countries worldwide. It is best known for provisions for health services following humanitarian crisis, and its commitment to political independence with medical ethics and human rights at its core. Another example of an NGO is Save the Children. It is founded in the United States, currently works in 30 countries, seeks to contribute to individual and community self-sufficiency. It particularly pays attention to well-being of newborns and children, and reproductive health and HIV/AIDS are some of its main program. Other important actors, beside the one that we mentioned, are foundations such as the Rockefeller Foundations, the Wellcome Trust, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundations. All of these foundations, they focus on different aspects of global health or global economic development work around the globe. They are a source of significant funds that support their missions. We also have research founders such as Focus on Doing and Funding Research, Gates Foundations, Wellcome Foundation, Howard Hughes Medical Research Institute, as well as U.S. National Institute of Health, National Health and Medical Research Councils of Australia, and others supported by national governments as well. They all have a focus of funding research around the globe. There are, in addition, different think tanks, mostly in universities, and other specialized technical organizations such as the CDC. And all of these think tanks and organizations, as well as universities, they work in different aspects of global health, environmental health, as well as economic development around the globe based on their specific missions and visions.